Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to Heart Centered Tarot. As always, my name is Marina and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And welcome to Taco Tuesdays with my amazingly psychic co-host, David from Tarot by the Bay and Tarot of the Seven Seas. Hey,
Hello, hello, hello.
hello. So we're going a little early today, you guys. I hope you all got your notifications on and everything else. And yeah, we just want to see if you're paying attention.
Exactly. In truth in advertising here, normally we would do this at 6 West Coast time. Michelle and I had a small bathroom plumbing issue, and we have a friend who's a contractor coming over, and he's supposed to arrive at the house at 6 o'clock tonight, and Michelle's not home. So it's on me. It's going to be really hard to do both things at the same time. So
Exactly.
I was gonna cancel for tonight, but then I asked Marina, "Can we do an hour early?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's do this." Like, okay, cool. So we'll get it all done.
Because my plan was if David couldn't come, then I was going to do this on my own, but I was going to make a patently clear to everyone that if the show goes sideways, it's not on me.
Just got to get your purple pen, Pat, and you're ready to go.
That's right. That's right. So I'm going to do our very, very best to to stick to the hour so that David can, at least have a few minutes to do whatever he has to before the contractor shows up. So I will very quickly say hello to some people. And oh my gosh, we've got 66 people watching. So fantastic. So Eleanor is a new member. Oh, welcome, Eleanor. SR Kish. We've got McGrill. We've got Ron Forrest, who is a new member. Welcome, new member, Ron. Plucky Heroine, Jamie Johnson, Kirsten F., Cherry Kana, Jasper Tyrell, Julie V1112, Jenny Berlin, Lisa DeHart, Marby Gangora. I hope I get everyone. Artist Liz, Louise Fote, Susie Hatcher, Tommy Lee, Marjorie McConnell, Dorian, Pam Coates, Claudia, Cat Mama, Mary Thornberry, Evelyn Garcia Queiroz, Lisa Keller, Mosi. Hey, Mosi. Mosi's a member. Judith Gash, Aileen, all right, Watcher 9997. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Now, I will tell you that for those of you that are in David's chat, you're only going to be able to see the chat on David's side. For those that are in my chat, you're only going to be able to see my chat. But David and I can see both.
Yes.
So, if we're talking about something and you're wondering what are they going on about, because we can see both your chats. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. David's information is down in the description of the video. Make sure that you go over and like, share, and subscribe on his channel after you subscribe on mine, because he has way more members than I do. So
now I have more subscriptions. I don't have more members.
Subscribe. Yes. And you do that on Tarot by the Bay and also Tarot of the Seven Seas, which is really, really interesting to get there. So hello, Mickey, Yvonne Yansky. Thank you, Delphine Ross. Thank you guys for being here. So since we're on a little bit of a time crunch, let's just get right to it.
Jump right in.
Yeah, let's just get right into the muck. And it's been an interesting couple days, has it not?
I was in a mood yesterday. My videos yesterday were not the normal high energy snarky.
I know.
I have a really hard time when I see stuff like that. It's like I do not understand why this guy keeps getting breaks. Literally, he's a 3-year-old having a tantrum in the middle of the freaking supermarket, and everybody's pandering to him. Fuck's sake, man!
Mhm.
Sorry. Let him have his tantrum. Get
That's right.
over it. He'll put his big boy pants on and move on. 77 freaking years old.
Yep,
And he's an alleged billionaire with he's bragging $500 million in the bank. Good, then you can pay your
exactly.
full bond.
Yeah.
Now, I, I was trying to calm myself down, thinking, it'd be really funny is he doesn't even have that. He can't even afford the 175 million. So that's what kind of got me through my readings last
Yes.
night. Like, let's see if he can even
Yes.
do this one.
Yes. I know. I know. I honestly, I watched that video that you did, and I'm going to disagree. I don't think he can come up with the 175.
Yeah, I get the feeling he'll get it. I just don't. It's like, okay, whatever. At this point, this is now on New York. New York, you don't want to collect your money. That's on you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. All righty. So speaking of the orange Cheeto, apparently he got on his Truth Social this morning, which by the way started trading today. We can get to that later. And he just went ballistic on Judge Marchand and about the fact that he's setting the trial date for April 15th, and the judge is against him, and he ranted and ranted, not only about the judge, but included the judge's daughter in that. And almost immediately, he was issued with a gag order. So I think I would like to know, is is he going to shut up, or is he going to end up behind bars until April 15th?
That'll be amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, general energy
Oh,
around this. I usually start general energy around this gag order here.
yes.
Let's
Yep.
see what we got.
Exactly.
What's the general energy? Heartbreak, betrayal, backstabbing. Oh, and I'm sure Donald feels like he's been backstabbed, betrayed. He's the victim, and he lashes out because he just feels like he's been victimized by this. But he's the
Mhm.
one who's
Yeah.
constantly backstabbing um, society and societal norms. And here's the judge saying, "Okay, out of bounds. My daughter is out of bounds, and
Yep.
now you've been called out of bounds, and you're going to pay the price for it." This judge, I tell you what, this judge is not fooling around. If
Yep.
you want to know kind of like what Jack Smith is probably like as a prosecutor or a special counsel, just look at this judge. Same Ace of Swords. Same. Although I have Jack Smith as the King of Swords, this judge might be the Queen of Swords. I mean, this is like watching Judge Judy on TV.
Yeah.
you got like 0.1 chances and you blew it threefold. This
Yeah.
yeah, this judge ain't fooling around.
Mhm.
Um, in the past, the Empress, this judge has been fair. He has tried to accommodate Trump. He's actually well, he tries to accommodate everyone. And I
Yes.
don't mean that in a wishy washy way. I mean that in a fair and balanced type way. Uh,
Yes.
and that's what I've read about this judge. He's going to take care of his courtroom. Nobody's going to be acting out of bounds. There's nobody going to be attacking his law clerks or anything along those lines. You behave, you'll be treated well. You misbehave, well, actions will be taken.
Yes.
So, and it's in this case, fast actions. Oh, this is how we want to play. Okay. It's almost like watching a chess game. Trump's opening move, have tantrum. Okay, blocked.
Yes.
Next. What's your next move? Um, Look at all these queen cards with him too, and the Empress.
Yes.
And of course, this is also the 2016 election interference case. So you have Stormy Daniels and you'll have Karen McDougal in there. Um,
Yes.
he understands the moment. This judge understands the value of this case and what is basically sitting in his lap, and he's not going to let somebody's tantrums get in the way of a good, sound, solid legal case. Um, the lesson to be learned is he got a warning. He's been gagged. If he continues to violate that gags, there's going to be a warning about a fine. If he continues, there will be a fine. The lesson to be learned will be a fine. I will say before the end of the week, and I don't think I'm really taking much of a risk here, you're going to hear before the end of the week, you're going to hear the judge is going to say, if you do that again, I am going to hold you in contempt and fine you. He
Yep.
will drag his butt in there, and there will be a threat of a fine. Overarching, this could also be one of the things that's driving Trump bananas is the fact that he still has to come up with that $175 million bond that he says he can finance, and I'm sure that's causing him stress. So he's just going to lash out at
Yep.
any authority figure. Outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. I think Trump's going to get fined. Honest to God, I think this judge is going to. It's like he won't shut up. He's
Yeah.
going to get hit with a big fine. This judge is going to basically. This judge is going to set a precedent. He's going to draw a line in the sand. Say you do this. This is what's going to happen, and it's going to be big. This is not. I don't think this is going to be one of those $5,000, $10,000 fines. I think it's going to be 10 times those fines, maybe 25,000 to 50,000 to start off with, and we'll just proceed from there.
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny that you say, oh, look at all the queens. Yeah, my first two cards out were the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So yeah, there's the energy that I've got around this is the women are going to take you down. Not only that, but you want to talk about the judge, you want to call him this, that, and the other. That's fine. He's a big boy. He can take it. But don't ever attack our kids. And that's what Trump did by gratuitously including the guy's daughter in that. That's when he said, oh, hell to the no, to quote someone we know. And yeah, the gag order goes in place. You're absolutely right in that what the judge is doing, and I also get the Nine of Pentacles and the Sun card. So what he is saying is my courtroom, my rules.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to do this. You're not in charge, and I'm going to hold you accountable for the things that you do. I can tell you that Trump's lawyers, once they were able to get him out of there, they are fighting with him, telling him to can you just shut the F up? Can you just, if you don't do what you're supposed to, I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to represent you. Represent yourself. Like enough is enough. Especially since that one of his lawyers got a real good dressing down from Marchand. Yeah. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a no nonsense judge who isn't going to be, well, okay, maybe this, maybe that. No, it's going to be very clear. First we start with the gag order. Don't like the gag order? Great. Here's the fine. Don't like the fine? You're going to Rikers. And we're taking your phone. And you can whine all you want about, oh, I'm the victim. I don't think he doesn't scare this judge. You know? So, yeah. Okay. And while we're chatting about Cheeto, and hello to all the new people who have come in. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Alrighty, so apparently Republicans are not as unified around Trump as they appear. They're with the latest one, Lisa Murkowski, saying, I cannot support him. Like, no way. So there's a lot of big names who have now come out and said, we're not supporting him. Mike Pence, Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, Alan Kinzinger, Todd Young, George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Paul Ryan. So, these are not your backbencher unknowns. These are some big people who have some influence, and they are saying they are not going to be supporting Trump. So, what I'd like to know is, are they going to be joined by more Republicans? And even though Trump is the presumptive nominee, are they going to step in and maybe get him out of there? If there's a way to get him out, are they willing to do that?
And you're watching House members like Ken Buck,
Yes.
Mike Gallagher was the most recent one, not
Yes.
only stepping down, but stepping down in a way that is really putting pressure on uh, Mike Johnson and the House of Representatives in the very slim majority they have there.
Yes.
And Ken Buck even hinted that it's not me, Johnson, should be worried about. It's the next three guys that step down.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Gallagher, a few weeks later, stepped down and did
Yeah.
it in such a way that there's no special election to replace him. That seat will stay vacant for the rest of the year. And so now, if I were Mike Johnson, I'd be looking at, oh crap, what states? What are the cutoffs for these states? And who's the most likely person that would of
Yes.
those states that would step down and leave me with no majority? And then you have Marjorie Taylor Greene threatening to um,
Start
recall
war
the
with
speaker
Mexico?
to vacate the speakership, and that might drive enough Republicans out of the party or something where I wouldn't even entertain the idea of Hakeem Jeffries being the House Speaker. When people were asking about it, it's like, no, I'm not going to read on it. It's ridiculous. It'll never happen. It could happen. I still think that they will try and find a consensus candidate, and there's
Mm.
nobody in the House right now that fits that bill. So you'd have to go out of the House, and Lord, I throw out Liz Cheney as an example of
Yeah.
somebody like that. I don't know is who else has at least enough moral compass and is a person of their word and has some honor that the Democrats could trust and the Republican conservative portion could trust. The MAGAs are lost. Freedom Caucus is
Yeah.
lost. They will not support any bipartisan candidate.
Yes.
That 25% of the House is gone. But the other three quarters, as long as you get somebody who's just going to, you know, do daily business like a normal human being,
Yes.
they could probably get some legislation done. Nothing major, nothing, but like budgets will get done.
Yeah.
Special funding bills will get done. And in the end of the day, what we're watching, I think, is the breaking up of the Republican Party. We're watching it sever, and we're seeing where the lines are. So
Yeah.
what's going on with the GOP with this? Are we
And
going to have
what about Kinzinger? He would.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
And here you go. You're at the crossroads.
Uh,
Which side of history do you want to be on? The Republican Party, the way they
yeah.
are self-destructing, they are not going to be back in power in this election. Now, really, what it's going to be down to is what side of history do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the extreme right, or do you want to be on the not so extreme right?
Mm-hmm.
Cross with the King of Swords. It's put up or shut up time.
Yeah.
There's no fence straddling with this. If you straddle the fence, you're on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
And again, I really do think the Republican Party is going to sever. It's going down this severing path, and there's going to be strong people on both sides that will make their case for you to join their side. Now, I don't know who the strong person on the Freedom Caucus is, but you named a litany of them on the conservative side, and they're your traditional conservatives. Underneath it all, it's a burden. This party has become too cumbersome. It's not even really a full party. It's a coalition of
Yes.
evangelicals and white supremacists and Tea Party members who seem to be a blend of wealthy people and racist people. And And oh yeah, there's conservative, traditional conservatives in there. Lord knows what the heck that means anymore. Just people
Yes.
that don't like to pay taxes. You know, this party can't stay together. It's falling apart at the seams.
Hmm.
Um, in the past, Four of Wands. If you want to go way far in the past,
Yeah.
let's go to the 1970s with Richard Nixon and the Southern Strategy, trying to bring the evangelicals in and uh, getting the Southern Democrats, the Dixiecrats as they were known, to change parties to the Republican Party and go with it from there. But I think what this is that when they brought no, John, when they brought Kevin McCarthy in, and McCarthy bent over backwards to
Yes.
accommodate this because he wanted to be the speaker more than anything else in the world, they weakened their position to the point where he could get kicked out and kicked out as he was. And now here we are with Mike Johnson, and it's
Yeah.
more of the same. Johnson did the same exact things that McCarthy did. He
Yep.
did nothing different. And now it's like, are you going to welcome people or are you going to kick them out? Current situation is the Chariot, Major Arcana. This is the inevitable path forward for the conservatives and the extreme right. They're on a split. They will
Hmm.
be splitting. Overarching energy is temperance. It's a patient split. It's a split that's happening over time. It's kind of, again, it's a slow collapse of that party. And temperance is about removing toxicity, but they're exact opposite. One of the cups
Yes.
is highly toxic. The other one wasn't, but they've been accepting that toxicity for a while, and now they're getting to the point where their cup is full and they really can't handle that toxicity anymore. But the toxicity is continually poured into that cup.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing I'm going to throw with this one: the Republicans were famous, notorious for being able to march in lockstep.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what it was. If they disagreed, they kept it in the house. Nobody found out about it. That doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Everybody now knows your toxic behaviors and your crappy behaviors. Well, that card looks familiar. Ace of Swords. Lesson to be learned from all this Ace of Swords. Again, put up or shut up time. There's two different ideologies in that party, and you have to choose which side you're going to be on. Outcome is the King of Wands. Okay, okay. This is also going to be Johnson being removed. As you know, as we're saying, we're in a
Mhm.
crossroads
Yeah.
here. Johnson's going to get kicked. Here we go again, trying to find a new speaker. And now you go through that whole toxic mix again, trying to find it. They come up with an idea and nominate somebody who can lead this party. And it is not necessarily a Republican. I still rack through my brain trying to figure out, again, trying to park my Liz Cheney moments there, try to figure out who in the Republican Party would still have the respect of Democrats. And it's like, well, if I could be Dick Cheney, and George W. Bush, probably not. It's like, how far? I don't know where to go with it. I really
No.
don't.
I know, because so many of them have kept silent for so long that now trying to sound the alarms now seems like, a day late and a dollar short. Like, you know, I too got the Four of Wands as well. Um, and yeah, what I got here was the Page of Swords, Star, and the Nine of Pentacles. So they're they are really honestly shining a light on the dysfunction that they are having, where yes, they used to be able, they were a cohesive unit, and they were able to get their messaging out. Now it's more a case of whoever happens to be at the microphone, they get their 15 seconds of fame or whatever that is. I think that they are they are hoping that they're going to be able to come together and, get rid of Johnson, but find, like you say, find someone that is going to be acceptable. I don't know that that again they're going to be able to come up with anyone in the party.
Yeah.
They're looking at, some people. I've got the King of Cups here, so yeah, they're looking at some of the guys, but it's like no one really fits the bill. They can find something wrong with each and every person. I end with the Eight of Cups, where there's a lot of people that are just going to walk away, that are just going to say, no, you know what, this is maybe in a year or two, maybe something will change. But yeah, for now, no, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. Now, I will mention I did star a comment here that Audria Odom said maybe the Independent Party will fill the void that the GOP leaves. What do you think about that? That would be absolutely horrendous, and I will tell you why. On as long as the Republicans have just a sliver of a majority at election time, the independent voters and the the independent voters that are taking votes away from Biden, they could also be taking votes away from Trump. It doesn't matter. According to Article 12, if there is no clear winner in the election, it then goes to the House, and the House immediately gets to decide who the president is. So if you think of, the voting independent, you really are throwing away your vote, and you are giving the Trump the opportunity to get into the White House again through the back door. So it sounds like a really good idea, to say, no, I'm going to go independent. I'm not voting for anyone. They're all, idiots or whatever. You are setting up the situation where even with the slightest one seat, that's all they need, one seat. And
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and they decide the president. So
Yeah, I think with the independent party, and Pegasus was throwing that out there. I think there was an American Independent Party at one point. They might still be around. There are about like a dozen political parties in the United States. You just never hear about the Green Party or the Libertarians or the Peace and Freedom Party and all this stuff.
yes,
Because, collectively they probably get 2% of the vote. Now, if the Democrats were to split up into like the Progressive Party, corporate Dems,
yeah,
and others, like if they were to split up into three parties and the Republican Party were to break off into like three or four parties, now you've got what the rest of the world has, which are coalition governments. It's
yes,
the liberals deciding that they want to team up with the progressives, the Green Party, and another party to form a coalition government where
exactly.
nobody has more than 20% of the vote type of thing. In the United States right now, again, two parties hold about 96 to 98% of the vote. So if the Republican Party splits, they will find it very difficult to hold any Senate seats. Will be difficult for them, not impossible, but difficult. A
Yeah,
lot of House seats go away. The Democrats would probably have super majorities in the House and the Senate. And if they can keep the far left faction sort of in check, they could do incredible things with 2/3 majority in it. You can
yeah,
start seeing constitutional amendments being put in protecting women's rights, codifying election rights, the John Lewis Act would be
Yeah.
could be put into
Roe
effect.
Wade. Yeah,
It would be an amazing change in such short order.
absolutely.
We'll see if it happens. Too many people, too many billionaires with too many political interests to let something like that happen. It would be devastating to them and their checkbook and their taxes, and I'm here for that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, no, Audria, I do get, yeah, what you were saying, and maybe, maybe once everything is done, the I think a lot of Republicans might, yes, get together with some of the independents,
Yeah,
and some of the independents would come back to a more cohesive Republican Party, a
yeah.
more,
I would really expect the conservatives to
yes,
form a new. No, they'll call themselves the Abraham Lincoln Party or something
yeah,
along those lines, and that's
yeah,
going to be your Liz Cheneys and your Adam Kinzingers and your Paul Ryans and
yes,
what we would normally consider to be conservatives. The world would consider to be conservatives, not the extremists that are
yeah,
beyond them, which are getting closer to fascism.
exactly, yeah. So yeah, that my comment was more more as a warning, because yeah, look at Article 12. It is scary how um how he could get in through the back door.
Yeah.
Even, yeah, even if he doesn't win the electoral college, he doesn't win the popular vote, but he could get in through the back door, and that scares me more than anything else. So all righty. Well, deep breath, deep breath. Thank you for those of you who have recently joined us. There's just too many of you for me to say hello to everyone. But hey, Amanda Carroll. Amanda Carroll's a member. And Dwight Neptune says, I'm from Trinidad. Y'all need to vote Biden straight down the ticket. The world is laughing. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So vote blue no matter who. Okay. So let's stay on Trump, since I mean, this seems to be going so well. Um, Truth Social started. Um, they what's the word I'm looking for? They're on the stock market. They trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, started trading today, and I think that started trading at about $70 a share.
Good
Now, my
Lord.
my question. Yeah,
The Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon.
yes,
I think he's got rocket skates and he's just gone off the ramp, and things
yes,
are looking pretty good.
yeah.
I
So,
mean, here's the thing. You're almost, it makes cryptocurrency look like a nice, safe, conservative bet.
yes, it does.
That stock rises and falls with Donald Trump. The True
Yeah,
Social without Donald Trump is worthless. Period. And it's not worth $70. It's not worth a hundredth of that. Or
no,
at least at a hundredth of that, you're getting close to the actual valuation.
yeah,
So if Trump, think of this: if Donald Trump sold all his shares and then just went on Twitter, what do you think is going to happen to the price of Truth Social? Man, there's only one position I would have in Truth Social, and that would be short. I
yeah,
would short that stock to hell and back, and
yeah.
maybe I will make my fortune that way.
Now, apparently, um, he can't sell or trade any of his shares for 6 months. He would have to get special sort of permission, dispensation, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
from the board, which is stocked with a lot of Trump neophytes.
right.
Okay, so um, who actually determines the valuation of that company? Is it, what, whatever Trump says it's worth? He's lying. He doesn't have nearly the membership, whatever that, let's say, X does, or Facebook,
Yeah.
and yet he's saying that his shares are worth more than those shares.
It's the valuation pretty much is the number of outstanding shares, which I believe there were 120 million outstanding shares on Truth Social, and Donald Trump has like 70 or 80 million of those 120. So he has about like a 65%. It's called two-thirds. So
Yep.
80 million out of 120. Is that right? That sounds about right. And that's Donald J. Trump Enterprises. I forget what it was called. Trump Multimedia Group, whatever. On this, it had a value of like $40 a share or something along those lines. And so
Yes.
this SPAC came in and had to buy it at whatever the share price was to buy all the shares. And they had raised like $2 billion or a few $1 billion from
Yep.
a bunch of it's like a co-op. It's like get a bunch of people together, you're gonna throw a bunch of money at us, and we're gonna go buy a company all together. And they let it known really early on that it was True Social that they were going to buy, which is illegal, which is why the FCC or the SEC, I'm sorry, the
SEC, yeah.
FCC was investigating and held up that merger for such a long time. Because you can imagine that all these countries that want to have influence in the United States are going to join this SPAC because now they're going to own a bit of Truth Social and they have access to Donald Trump.
Yes, exactly.
And this board will, I can almost guarantee you, they'll let Trump trade his shares early, but I don't know how early is. 6 months is the way he has to normally wait. I read a story saying he had to wait 150 days if he got this special thing, which only gives him a month early. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's what I remember reading on this.
Yeah.
So do we have a question? As I probably there.
Well, I did half an hour ago. I did, but
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up at some point.
No, I was. It was kind of a satirical question, but what I wanted to say was, okay, is this a good investment or not?
Okay.
Knowing that really, if people out there don't have anything better to do with their money, I'll tell you what. Go to my PayPal. Go to David's PayPal. Put money in our account. I swear to you, I'm going to do something good with it.
Yeah. No, don't put money in my PayPal account. I'm in great shape. I don't need to take anybody's money. And I say that with, as I laugh, but at the same time, it's like, and I don't want any scammers coming on my page saying, "Hey, you want a private reading? Go to Telegram. Here's David's special Telegram."
No,
dude, I am not charging people for nothing. I make money. SPAC is special purchase acquisition, or something along those lines. Okay.
Yeah, and
SPAC. What's going to happen with this? All right, you asked if that was a good investment. 5 of Cups. If your idea of a good investment is to have capital losses and so you can deduct it on your taxes, yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah. Cross with the Hermit. Something's going to happen with it. Something's going to be exposed with this SPAC that's going to cause a lot of problems. I know there's lawsuits out with it, and maybe something happens with those lawsuits with it. Temperance. It's going to be disappointing, but it's going to be something that's happening slowly over time. I would have expected it to fall off a cliff myself.
Yes.
But were I in that SPAC, I would have wanted to sell my shares on day one.
Yes.
I suspect what people will be looking for is what's the enthusiasm for it?
Mm-hmm.
Are people buying into it? Are people selling? What's the trending with it? In the past is the Hanged Man. You know what this is? This card's also what's going to happen with Trump. Does Trump get the special treatment? If he does, it's going to sacrifice the company.
Yeah.
Hangman, it's just kind of like a SPAC. It's just, this is a new way of doing things. Let's see what happens. I think on the short term, people have made money, especially people that got into the Trump media group early. we've got the 8 of coins here. They've made a ton of money because that company should be a penny stock. Its value is
Yes.
probably closer to 50 cents a share,
Yes.
not $70 a share. But the SPAC got their money together. People are celebrating. Hooray! We've got DJT on the Nasdaq. By the way, Trump was going on. Yeah, New York scaring away investors. That's why I didn't go on the New
Yes.
York Stock Exchange. I went on the Nasdaq, which is based in New York.
Yeah.
Now, the lesson to learn is watching your money in this company. You've
Mm-hmm.
Some people have made money. Um, I don't. They might think it's their nest egg. I'm telling you what, man. That bush bore berries. Pick your berries and move on. Do not. They have something called the greater fool theory, which is, can you sell the
Yes.
stock to somebody at a more expensive price than you paid for it? And I just want to say the outcome is the devil. um, Something's going to happen with that involving Donald Trump, because it invariably does. That's going to send that stock plummeting to bankruptcy because everything Donald Trump touches dies. I mean, he's hawking Bibles now, as the comments were pointing out.
Yes.
His stakes didn't go, his airlines didn't go, he killed casinos. Who the hell can do that?
I
That
know.
didn't go. He had a university that was committing fraud. That didn't go. He's not allowed to have a charity. I'm sure I've missed some other things that Trump has done, but yeah, no, dude,
Yeah.
anything he touches dies.
Exactly.
If you have any of this news DJT stock, sell it, take your capital gains, be happy that you made money on it, and go live your life. Because if you stick around, I shouldn't give financial advice, but on that one I will. Dude,
Yeah.
it's just gonna flush, it's gonna hemorrhage cash. Just
Exactly.
run.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think. Yeah. They thought that this was going to be a good idea, and it was a good idea for the people that were involved right in the very very beginning when
Yeah.
when it was $40 a share, and now it's 70. Okay, so they're looking at a profit. But the thing that a lot of people forget is when it comes to stuff like that, it's a profit on a piece of paper.
Yep.
It's not a profit until you sell it or do something with it. Until then, it's profit loss on paper. The minute that Trump is able to get anything out of that, he will take his money, he'll say thank you, see you later, everything plummets. It Folks, don't just
Just
don't.
don't.
Um, yeah, yeah, just don't. Like I said, they thought that it was a good idea, and that this was a nice way to make a little extra cash, and they're kind of feeling like they can control him, right? If they put guardrails in place, they can control what he can and cannot do, which is it's not a good thing to have. And I mean, I end up with the moon. If you get taken for a ride, no sympathy here. So okay, and we can get off Trump for a little bit. Um, who was it now? President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus
Ah,
has yes has come out and said
he's gonna.
that
He's come out.
yes, he's come out of the closet. No.
His rainbow uniforms.
Yeah, he has said that the terrorists who attacked the concert venue or the mall in Russia, that they actually tried to get into Belarus and they were stopped and prevented from getting into Belarus. That's when tried to get into Ukraine. So
Mm.
it's not the way that Putin has been describing it in terms of, well, these people are from the Ukraine, or that they're working with the Ukraine, whatever that might be. So I guess now that Lukashenko has spoken out, and he's probably one of the few people um, who is willing to work with Putin, is this is Lukashenko going to get sick really quick?
I tell you what, to me, he said Lukashenko said that Putin was wrong. Oh, oh, wow. Okay, let's look at energy around Lukashenko because
Yes,
you know
please.
putting some daylight between you and Putin when you've been that close. That's not a yeah exactly. That's a great way to drink a cup of poison and fall out of a 10-story window into a pepper
Exactly.
shredder.
Okay.
Okay. Six of Swords. It's is he really trying to get separation between he and Putin? Why would he do this? It looks like obviously he purposely did that. So it's almost like he's purposely trying to get some. Oh, mm, okay.
Yeah.
There's some speculation about it being a false flag that Russia
Yes.
actually got these guys themselves to murder their own people to send the message to their own people to stay in line. That's a horrific thought, but let's just I'll park that conspiracy theory over here a little
Yes.
away from this. But if that were true, then by adding this story, you're adding a layer of believability to the to take away from the false flag story, right? They said,
Mhm.
no, it's not a false flag. Russia didn't kill their people. There were actually terrorists that were coming through, and those terrorists they weren't going to Ukraine right away. They were trying to come through Belarus, but we kicked them out, and that's why they were
Mhm.
going to Ukraine. See, it kind of starts making the story just seem a little more believable type thing. Um, but there's going to, he might be telling the truth, but the truth is going to be out there. More information is going to come out on
Yeah.
this. Um, I mean, again, if Lukashenko doesn't die in the next 2 weeks, he's
Yeah.
probably he's probably lying or perpetuating something Putin wants him to perpetuate. Yeah, because they're in tight with Russia,
Yes.
or or at least Putin tells Lukashenko what to do, and Lukashenko does it.
Yes.
This Lukashenko's not he's not a strongman. He's a coward, and he relies on Putin to maintain power. So whatever this is more to advance something with Putin, I think, than to be truthful. In the past, we got the Four of Swords. Um, Lukashenko's sleeper agent. Just he's been quiet.
Mhm.
We haven't heard much from Lukashenko
I know.
recently, and he might have been told. I don't know if he was. Let's see, what did Lukashenko do last? He took the Wagner group in uh, as part
Yeah,
of
and
part
it
of
was
Putin's
short.
thing.
I
Yeah, to
think it
get
was
rid of got
shortly
rid of
after that,
Prigozhin.
wasn't it, that he ended up a little sick. He was sick for a little while.
Yeah, that's right. He was. He had a heart attack or something like that, right?
Yeah,
But
something.
he took he took the Wagner group in. Believe me, that's under orders. And then Prigozhin gets blown up in his plane, and then the Wagner group is pretty much. I don't know what happened to them, if they've been gutted, if they've been disbanded. I'm not sure what happened with
Yeah,
them at this point.
I'm not sure either. Yeah.
Current situation is the world, things coming to a close. Uh, It, if Lukashenko is telling the truth, it's like he sees his relationship with Putin is closing off.
Yep.
I have a hard time seeing that. Uh, but it's a new journey. It maybe maybe Mr. Lukashenko grew a spine when I wasn't looking here.
Hmm.
Look at that, huh? We got the world card, things coming to an end. The Fool card, starting a new journey, a new chapter in your life. Strength card,
Okay.
showing strength and mastery as a lesson to be learned. Huh. Outcome, Knight of Wands. Hmm. This is this is the hard part when you don't read reversals. Um,
Uh-huh.
so obviously, to me, one of two things is happening. Either Lukashenko is actually telling the truth, and they did try to go through there, and it's giving him a little bit of daylight between Belarus and Russia, um, or it could be that if this was a false flag type of operation, it's it's trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, and he's basically being told what to say and when to say it. I tend to believe that latter one more than the
Mhm.
former, but it's hard for me to even contemplate that this would be a false flag. It would just be horrific to contemplate. Regardless, it gives the public appearance that there's some separation between Lukashenko and Putin. Why? I wasn't able to really elucidate from that, but there's a lot of
Yeah,
weird stuff going on, I'm sure.
yeah, there is. This, if you look at it in terms of this maybe having been a false flag event, it wouldn't be the first time that Putin has done something like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he got in power. So it is not out of the realm of possibility for him to kill his own people, because they are a means to an end. Um, the What Lukashenko is providing is would be a little bit of coverage for that, so that people aren't looking at it too closely. Um, it There's just something that doesn't quite feel right. Um, what I get, I've got the Justice card, I've got the Seven of Swords, something being taken, Eight of Cups, walking away, Six of Pentacles, and then the Hierophant. So the fact that Russia was warned about this ahead of time,
Yeah,
right? And they said, "Oh, no, 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 it's just sensationalism, and the U.S. is doing this, that, or the other thing." It does almost feel like this is something that Putin would absolutely do, as a way to think that he can now use that to galvanize people. To He needs to replenish the military fighting in the Ukraine.
right.
So yeah, it almost feels like, yeah, that's it. It is a bit of a false flag. Um, Justice. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to see justice in this, but it almost feels like Lukashenko might have been better off just to keep his mouth shut and not say anything, because yeah, it
Right.
feels like he's brought light to something that just might backfire.
It's and as you're going through your description on it, when you've got the Hermit card coming up on my reading, if the truth was exposed and you found out that no, they really weren't stopped at the border, well, then what? What was Lukashenko's whole story about? It's like, why would he lie about that? And your assumption is, well, he was telling the truth. Okay, well, let's take that assumption out. Let's say he lied about them crossing it. Why would he lie about that? And I go back to my first thought. It adds a layer of believability that it's a ISIS terrorist act, um, and not a false flag. Because it's like, oh yeah, they tried to come through here, but we thwarted them. We
Yeah,
support Russia and we don't support terrorism. Um, and it could be something as simple as that. It could be just his way of, how people fawn to Donald Trump. It would be like, oh yeah, yeah, just make something up. Oh yeah, they tried to come in here, but we said no. Can we have some more tanks, please? Some more fighter
yeah,
jets? Some more things. It could be something as simple as kissing Putin's butt.
Yeah.
But it would only make sense if, yeah, if you're trying to say it's ISIS or something like that. But Putin was trying to blame Ukraine too. So this is just weirdness. By the way, Rendezvous, thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Listen, we are at 55 minutes. I think that if we get into another question, we're going to go maybe past the time, and I want to make sure that you have enough time to deal with whatever so that you can answer the door when your contractor comes.
Yeah, I left it unlocked so he can let himself in.
So, but I do want to thank everybody who joined us, especially joining us early. Very, very much appreciated. And as I said, don't forget to go over to excuse me, to David's channel. Like, share, subscribe by all means. Like, share, subscribe on my channel. Take a look at the memberships and all that good stuff. And David, another fantastic show. I love reading, especially this stuff. So
Thank you. It's lightened my spirits. I might be able to do some readings tonight and be not be totally pissed off the whole time I'm doing it. It's. I was even thinking like I don't think I'm going to post up anything tonight because if I'm kind of in that mindset, how good of a reading can I possibly give on my energies like as opposed to up
I
here
know,
type of
I
thing.
know, I know. Have some chocolate.
I
Seriously.
have been. That's
Oh, that's a
yeah.
problem.
It
Okay.
wasn't helping the Dementors. I was in a mood yesterday. I was yelling at Michelle. Not, I wasn't yelling at her. I was in the room talking loudly about my frustrations, and we took it all the way back to Nixon and the Southern Strategy, and just Nixon did this, and then Ford pardoned him, and that led to Reagan coming up here, and then you had Iran Contra and trickle down economics, and then they got rid of the the Fair Reporting Act, which led to Rush Limbaugh and the whole family values thing, and Newt Gingrich, and then the stealing the election versus Gore, and with Roger Stone, and then Obama gets in there, and then all of a sudden you got the freaking Tea Party coming out there. You've got
Yep.
Citizens United and a couple other decisions going on there. Then you get Trump, and then you got all the Republicans and everything from that point on. Yeah, taking it all the way back to Nixon.
Yes. And
And
I
that's for
totally
my lifetime.
understand that. Yeah.
For the older folks on here, feel free to keep going back further than that. That's kind of just where
Yeah.
my knowledge, my recognition starts and goes on from there.
Just know that it will get better. It will get better. Absolutely.
I
And
just
we
said it won't. Thanks. Thanks
I
for the dose of reality.
I know, I know, I know. Just have faith. It will be fine. It will be fine. But all righty. Well, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you for those of
Thank
you
you.
that are here. And yeah, we'll see you 2 weeks from today when we'll do this again. All
Yep.
right. Take care, all. Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.